The phone in your hand. It probably knows you better than anyone. It holds your photos, your private conversations, your location, your weirdest searches. You trust it, and you trust the companies that made it. But what if that trust is a huge mistake? And what if the technology you use every day wasn't just built to help you, but also to manipulate you? For years, big tech companies promised us a brighter, more connected world. But behind that curtain of easy-to-use apps and convenience, a much darker story has been unfolding. It's a story about surveillance, control, and massive profits, all built by mining the one thing you can never get back: your personal data. You're about to hear some things that will make you look at your screen a little differently. In this video, we're recounting down the top 10 dark facts about big tech that they really want you to know. Number 10. Google's private browsing isn't private. Let's start with a betrayal that millions of us fell for. You know Google Chrome's Incognito mode? That little spy icon that says you can browse privately? Well, it turns out that was misleading. Using it was like wearing a funny hat and glasses to a party, thinking you're anonymous. But the host, Google, was still following you from room to room, writing down everything you did. In 2024, Google was forced to settle a massive lawsuit that started at $5 billion because, even in incognito mode, it was still tracking which websites you visited. As part of the settlement, Google has to delete billions of data records it collected from users who thought no one was watching. So, all those times you thought you were being discreet, Google was still peeking over your shoulder. Number 9. Your smart speaker was, in fact, spying. It's a classic joke, right? Is my phone listening to me? For some Apple users, the answer was a terrifying yes. Think of your smart speaker as a house guest who pretends to be asleep in the corner, but every now and then cracks open an eye and records your private conversations. It was revealed that Apple's Siri would sometimes record things without the "Hey Siri, wake" command. These recordings, which included sensitive medical information and private moments, were then sometimes shared with third-party contractors for analysis. This led to a major class action lawsuit in early 2025. Apple agreed to a $95 million settlement to resolve the claims. For a while, the walls really did have ears. Number 8. The Ticketmaster catastrophe. If you were one of the 560 million accounts in Ticketmaster's database, May 2024 was a bad month. It was as if Ticketmaster built a massive steel vault to hold all its customers' secrets, but then left the door unlocked with a combination written on a sticky note outside. Hackers stole a massive 1.3 terabytes of user data. We're talking names, addresses, emails, phone numbers, and even partial payment details. The notorious hacker group Shiny Hunters put the entire collection up for sale on the dark web, basically creating a goldmine for scammers and identity thieves. This wasn't just a small leak, it was a catastrophic failure, proving just how vulnerable our data is in the hands of these giant corporations. Number 7. Meta is using your life to train its AI. Everything you have ever publicly posted on Facebook or Instagram is now being used by Meta to train its artificial intelligence. It's like you've been writing a personal diary and posting it on a public bulletin board, and a corporation came along and photocopied every single page to teach its new robot how to think like you without ever asking. The company admitted to scraping users' public data without asking for their explicit opt-in permission. While users in Europe have some ability to opt out, for much of the world, there's little choice. And once your data is used to train an AI model, it's like trying to take an egg out of a baked cake. It's mixed in there forever. Number 6. The AI that knew a secret before the family. This sounds like science fiction, but it's a terrifyingly real example of predictive power. Years ago, the retailer Target developed an AI that was able to figure out a teenage girl was pregnant based on her shopping history, before even her own father knew. Think of it like a shopkeeper who not only sees what you buy but follows you home and reads your mail to figure out your deepest secrets. The system started sending her coupons for baby clothes and cribs, outing the secret to her family. While this story is from 2012, it was an early warning. Now, this kind of surveillance is far more advanced, meaning companies could know your medical conditions or financial troubles before you tell a soul, all to target you when you're at your most vulnerable. We're only halfway through, and it's already pretty disturbing. If you think this is information people need to hear, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell. We're dedicated to exposing how technology is really impacting our lives, and your support helps us push this message past the algorithms and into the light. Number 5. The mother of all breaches. In January 2024, cybersecurity researchers discovered something truly staggering: a leak. Dubbed the mother of all breaches, they found an open database with an unbelievable 26 billion records. This was less like a thief breaking into one house, and more like a thief finding a master key that opens millions of houses whose locks were already broken. It was a compilation of data from thousands of previous breaches, including credentials for accounts on Apple, Google, X, formerly Twitter, LinkedIn, and even government portals. This single discovery exposed the shocking scale of compromised data, proving that if you've been on the internet for any length of time, your login information is almost certainly out there, waiting for someone to use it. Number 4. Your addiction was designed by an AI. Have you ever found yourself endlessly scrolling through a social media feed long after you told yourself you'd stop? That's not a lack of self-control, it's by design. Social media algorithms work almost exactly like a slot machine. But instead of pulling a lever for a chance at a cash prize, you pull down to refresh your feed for a chance at a social reward, like a comment, a funny video. This creates a dopamine-driven feedback loop that is engineered to learn your psychological triggers. Your attention isn't just being captured, it's being held hostage by a digital casino where the AI ensures the house always wins. One former Facebook executive even admitted to feeling tremendous guilt for creating tools that are ripping apart the social fabric of how society works. Number 3. Your data is only as secure as the weakest link. What happens when a company you trust works with another company that gets hacked? Imagine you live in a fortress with an impenetrable front door, but you give a spare key to your neighbor and they leave their own door wide open. A thief doesn't need to break down your door. They can just walk in through your neighbor's house. That's what happened in 2023 with the Movite breach. A vulnerability in this single file transfer tool led to a massive chain reaction, compromising data from thousands of organizations, including the BBC and British Airways. It's a terrifying reminder. A company's defenses are only as strong as its weakest partner. Number 2, the AI that's programmed to divide and enrage us. One of the darkest secrets of AI is what it's doing to our society. These algorithms act like a ruthless TV producer who figures out that arguments get the best ratings. So, they cancel all the calm, thoughtful shows and replace them with a 24/7 broadcast of the most extreme people yelling at each other simply because it glues our eyes to the screen. To maximize engagement, algorithms amplify the most polarizing content. This isn't a bug, it's a feature of the system. This has been linked to real-world consequences, like in Myanmar, where UN investigators found that Facebook's algorithms helped fuel violence. With generative AI, this is only getting worse, as deepfakes and misinformation spread faster than ever. The platforms designed to connect us are algorithmically tearing us apart. And the number one dark fact about big tech is the most profound. Through their search engines and news feeds, a handful of companies have become the invisible gatekeepers of information. Their algorithms decide what you see and what you don't, creating filter bubbles. These bubbles are like living in a house where all the windows are mirrors. You only see reflections of yourself and what you already believe, which makes you think the whole world agrees with you. This is the difference between a security guard who watches what you do and a hypnotist who can whisper suggestions that shape what you think. It's the ultimate power not just to track your actions, but to actively shape your beliefs and who you become. From private browsing that isn't private and smart speakers that spy, to engineered addiction and AI that profits from our anger. The picture is pretty clear. The technology we welcomed into our homes is a double-edged sword. These companies aren't just providing services, they are running a global experiment in behavioral manipulation, and we are all the lab rats in their digital maze. The point here isn't to make you want to throw your phone in a river, it's to arm you with the truth. Awareness is the first step toward demanding better. It's like turning on the lights in a dark room. You can't avoid the obstacles until you can see them. We need more transparency, stronger regulations, and a public that understands the real price of free online services. Our privacy and our free will may depend on it. What do you think? Which of these facts shocked you the most? And has it changed how you'll use technology? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.